Welcome to another special edition of Check on Your Neighbor, a project of the Rural Assembly that invites you to reach out and call your friends and neighbors and see how they're doing during this time of COVID-19. About a week ago, I checked on my neighbor here in Athens, Tennessee, Jeff Eastman. Jeff is the CEO of Remote Area Medical Volunteer Corps. You can listen to that conversation at ruralassembly.org. But today, I'm excited to introduce you to Jeff's remarkable daughter, Peyton. Peyton is a dear friend of mine. She's a lover of books and seeds and good music. She also works here at our local library, E.G. Fisher Public Library, where she's the program director and children's librarian. I wanted to talk to Jeff and to Peyton because they both inspire me every day to keep showing up, to keep serving, and to keep finding pockets of joy. So if you feel called to reach out to the special friends in your life, please have a look at the Check on Your Neighbor project for prompts at ruralassembly.org. So let's see how Peyton's doing today. How are you, Peyton, these
I'm
days?
doing all right. I've got my story time backdrop here behind me, which has become a semi-permanent fixture of my house. So I'm doing a little redecorating.
Mm-hmm.
We've moved into a new house about 6 months or so before this, so we still have plenty of projects to work on and finding things outside of work to just stay busy on that are socially distant and here at home.
Mm-hmm. So that backdrop, your storytime backdrop, that's because you have that because you are the program director and children's librarian at E.G. Fisher Public Library. You're conducting story times from home now, right?
Yes, so this is the new setting for E.G. Fisher Storytime is not only online, but also at my house, my bedroom.
Got a YouTube channel where you post all your story times. Seems like every day. You've got one every day, right?
So I initially, was, for starters, just real, okay, kids are home. They need story time every day. So I did initially start with Monday through Friday and then have backed off just a little bit to Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, because I realized that was kind of that was a big jump for me from 3 or 4 story times a day to every day.
Down came the good fairy.
I was initially, just kind of worried about how we would still reach out to those patrons, how we would still be able to maybe to connect those families. I know for a lot of our families, when their kids are out of school, the library is the place they turn to fill their days and come in the summer. And we were a couple weeks out from spring break, which is when we normally gear up with another big set of programs. So just how we could best support our families and help them fill that time without being able to offer an activity that they could come to and that they could come and be at the library during.
Well, I just wanted to ask about how are you kind of trying to close the gap for people who don't have access to internet services and maybe can't tune in necessarily to YouTube or.
For the library, one thing that we're doing, because we know lots of people at the library is their access to the internet. We were able, once we closed due to COVID, to start leaving our wireless internet on 24/7 at the library. So we have a covered patio. It's got power outlets there. If people need to charge a device, they can have power and internet access in a covered space that's available there 24/7.
The work that you're doing, what does it say to our policymakers and our decision makers? What are your services communicating to them about how we address human need and for connection and for service?
We really are, like I said, the point of access for internet, for devices. Earlier this year, end of last year, an article where someone proposed, we don't really need libraries. Everyone can just go to Starbucks and use the internet. And, that went really wild in the library world because it's just making a lot of assumptions about access that people have, that you have access to a device, access to a Starbucks, which here in our town, you'd have to go hang out at the local grocery store if you wanted a Starbucks, but we have a local coffee shop as well. But that, the library really is this point of access of information that's still not, outside of libraries, it's not widely available necessarily.
So one other thing I wanted to ask you all about was, I know during this time I'm thinking a lot about lessons I'm trying to learn from from practicing the social distancing, from being disconnected in some ways, from appreciating the access that I do have. I wonder if you all feel like you're learning some lessons too that you want to hang on to for the post-COVID era, or are there things now that you'd like us to let go of and start over with something new in the post-COVID era?
I've been just really enjoying spending time outside, more than I think I probably was at this point in time last year. Just on the weekends and things. Our neighbors, we have a nice big yard kind of between our houses, so we're able to kind of sit, a couple people together and then be spaced out, but still seeing each other a little bit across yards and then lawns. And it's just been really nice to kind of be able to slow down a little bit, check in with our neighbors, see how they're doing, checking in with more family and friends that are more long distance. And I don't even there's really no change in our connectivity due to social distancing because they're already hours away. But just being able to slow down a little bit and make a phone call or schedule an online game night to hang out with them when we typically, don't really get to take a chance to do that has been, it's something that I hope to kind of continue and be able to carry on from this.